How to trademark my brand? How much time will it take to trademark? Why to trademark? Should I trademark? In this video, let's talk everything that is required for trademark registration. Let's first talk why should you trademark? And the answer is super obvious. You spend hours, days, weeks, months, years for what? Your brand. You sacrifice everything for your brand and your brand even goes successful. And then you see some competitor copying your brand name. And at that point of time, when your trademark is not even registered, there is very less that you could do to protect your trademark. And that's why you should register your brand for trademark. And now let's talk about the process. Before proceeding to file for trademark application, it is very important to see if similar brand exists. You search on internet, you search on IP India public platform to see if any similar brands are registered. As your trademark attorney, it's your responsibility to tell your client the same, that if his trademark could be registered at the first place. Now, once you are sure that his trademark could be registered, you hop on to the second step, and that is the filing for the trademark application. Now, it can either be filed online at trademark registry website or physically at its office. Also, it is pertinent to note that even a foreign national or entity can trademark their brand in India. Personally, I feel they should trademark their brand in India, considering that India could be one of the largest market for their brand, and therefore it became imperative that they protect their brand in Indian market for future use. Now, what information and documents are required for trademark registration? First, applicant's name and address. Second, Form 48. It's an authorization given by the applicant to the trademark attorney to represent him. Third, ID proof and the address proof of the proprietor or any individual who is applying for the trademark. Fourth, the copy of your logo if you are applying for the device mark protection. Just in case if you do not know, device mark is basically your brand logo. You have two options. Either you go for registration of word mark, that is the name of your brand, or you can go for the registration of your device mark, that is your brand logo. Though it's advisable that you go and protect your word mark, because protection given to word mark is way much higher than protection given to the device mark. Now, once your filing is done, you can use this superscript on your brand. This will indicate that you have applied for registration of your trademark. Now, once the filing of application is done, there comes the main part, and that is examination of your application. Once you file your application, the trademark registry will examine your application. It takes around 1 to 2 months of time, and if there is any objection in your application, the registry will raise it. There are two grounds under which the registry can raise the objection: absolute grounds, relative grounds. Absolute grounds comes under section 9 of the Trademark Act. If your trademark is devoid of any distinctive character, it creates confusion between the trademarks, it deceives people, then your trademark application might get rejected on the absolute ground. If your trademark application is rejected under the absolute ground, there is very less chance that it will move forward and it will get registered. So as a trademark attorney, your main goal is to avoid this kind of objection. Second kind of objection is the objection under the relative ground. If your mark is similar to any existing mark, then the trademark registrar could object to your application under the relative grounds. Dealing with this kind of objection is comparatively easier than the objection raised under the absolute ground. And it is very common that trademark registrar raise the objection. So whenever you get the objection, there is nothing to get worried about. It becomes very important that once you get the objection, you go through the process, because if you don't, you will lose your trademark. Registrar will also object if you file the wrong form, if you put wrong applicant name, if you fail to file trademark 48 form, and so on and so forth. Now, once the examination is done, then there is an advertisement. If your trademark is finally accepted by the trademark registrar, it goes for advertisement in the trademark journal. This trademark journal is accessible to all, and everyone can access this journal. And for 4 months, anyone can oppose your application. If anyone opposes to your trademark application, you get 60 days to file a reply to the opposition. It is also called as counter statement. And if you fail to file this counter statement, you will lose your trademark. Once you serve this counter statement, the opposing party is given 2 months to furnish evidences to the registrar as well as the applicant. That is you, if you're applying for the trademark. Now, once the evidences are furnished by the opposing side to the applicant as well as the registrar, the applicant gets 2 months to furnish evidence to the registrar. Now, once the applicant furnish evidences to the registrar, 1 month time is given to the opposing party to furnish more evidences. Now, these evidences need to be sent to the registrar as well as the applicant. Now, once all the evidences from both the sides are submitted, furnished to the registrar, a notice is served to both the parties for the first date of hearing. If the opposing opposing party does not appear on the hearing date, then the opposition will get dismissed and the registrar will register your trademark. And if the applicant is not available on that day of hearing, the application will be considered as abandoned and the applicant won't get its trademark registered. If both parties are available on that day of hearing, the registrar will hear both the sides and based on the evidences will decide if the trademark will get the registration. In case the registrar give any ruling in favor of the opposing party and you lose your trademark, then you can go to your respective high court and file an appeal against that order. So this was the whole process from the start to the end of the trademark registration. I hope you liked the video. In case you did, hit the like button, and in future if you would want to see more such content, then hit the subscribe button.